Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are going to dive into a Korean poem that's about 1,000 years old, but holds this incredibly powerful and, I think, really relevant lesson about love and loss. Just listen to these lines for a second. When will the Daedong River run dry? Year after year, tears of parting add to its blue waves. Wow. I mean, what a powerful image, right? A river that's literally made of sorrow. We're going to break down exactly how the poet creates this profound idea and what it can teach us about our own lives. So, that's the big question. Can a river truly be made of tears? To get to the bottom of this, we need to travel back in time, way back, to 12th century Korea. We're going to decode this masterpiece character by character, using the ancient script known as Hanja. And you'll see how each little symbol is like a brushstroke in this beautiful, heartbreaking painting. So the poem is called Song In, and it was written by a celebrated poet named Jeong Ji-sang. The title itself actually gives us a huge clue. Song means to see someone off, and in means person. So the title is, quite simply, seeing someone off. It's a poem about saying goodbye. Now, the poem starts off by painting this absolutely beautiful, almost serene picture. The poet is a master at setting a scene, and he uses this very first line to pull us into a very specific and very vivid moment in time. Take a look at these Hanja characters. Now, they might seem a little complex at first glance, but trust me, together they paint an incredible picture. Let's break down how the poet uses them to build this opening scene, kind of like putting together a puzzle. Okay, first up, we have this character for rain, which is pronounced u in Korean. Next to it, we have hyol, which means to stop. And finally, Cho-saek, which literally translates to grass color. So you already have this image forming, rain stopping, and the color of the grass. You can almost smell that fresh air after a storm, can't you? So when you put it all together, the poet is setting the scene of vibrant new life. The rain has just stopped, everything's been washed clean, and the grass is this intense, almost electric green. It's a picture of pure beauty and renewal. But hold that thought. Because then, bam, the second line hits and the mood just completely changes. That beautiful, peaceful landscape is suddenly flooded with raw human emotion. And here are the characters that just flip the entire tone. First, we have Song, which means farewell. Hey, that's the same character from the title. Then there's Gun, which is a formal way of saying you. And then you get Ga, which means a sad song or a lament. Saying farewell to you at Nampo Port, a sad song arises. See what the poet's doing here? It's brilliant. He's taking that gorgeous, vibrant scene we just imagined and dropping this heavy weight of human sadness right into the middle of it. And why do that? Well, think about it. When you put intense human pain against a backdrop of beautiful, indifferent nature, it just makes that feeling of loss feel so much more lonely, so much more powerful, you know? The world keeps being beautiful, even when your heart is breaking. Okay, let's get to the final two lines. This is where the poem's core idea is really revealed. This is where the poet takes that feeling of sadness and just blows it up into something legendary. The poet now asks this huge, dramatic question. He looks at the mighty Daedong River, which is a real river, by the way. It flows through what is now Pyongyang. And he asks something that seems completely impossible. So, let's look at the words. First, you have the name of the river itself, Daedonggang. Then you have these question characters, Ha-si, which means when. And finally, Jin, which means to be exhausted or to run out. It's a rhetorical question, of course. I mean, a great river like that isn't just going to dry up. The question seems impossible to answer. That is, until you read the final, absolutely breathtaking line. And here it is. This is the stunning reason the poet gives. This is the heart of the poem, the line that has made it famous for literally centuries. The answer is built from these three powerful ideas. First, you have Buol, which means parting. Then you have Ru, the character for tears. And finally, this beautiful rhythmic repetition of nyon nyon, which means year after year. The poet's incredible claim is that the Daedong River can never run dry. And why? Because it is constantly being refilled by the tears of all the people who have had to say goodbye on its banks, year after year after year. Now, this technique of extreme exaggeration, it's called hyperbole. And it is exactly what makes this poem an absolute masterpiece. The poet isn't speaking literally, of course. He's speaking emotionally. And this is why that choice is so incredibly powerful. I mean, just look at the difference here. On one side, you have a simple, literal statement. I am very sad to see you go. And on the other, the poet's image. One is a feeling. The other transforms that feeling into a timeless, cosmic force of nature. It makes the sorrow feel infinite. So what's the deeper wisdom here? What is this ancient poem really offering us today, all these centuries later? Why does it still resonate so deeply with us? Well, because it isn't really about a river, is it? The river is just a vessel. It's a metaphor, a way to contain an emotion that's just too big for any single person to hold. It's a symbol for that deep, universal, and eternal sorrow of parting. And here is the crucial point, the real wisdom. The poem teaches us that feeling immense grief is not a sign of weakness. It's a testament to the depth of the connection that was lost. The reason the sorrow feels as big as a river is because the love was as deep as an ocean. The pain of saying goodbye is directly proportional to the joy of having known someone. And that's really the timeless question that Songin leaves us with. It doesn't try to erase the pain of farewell. Instead, it shows us how art can take that sorrow and transform it into something profound, something beautiful. It reminds us that even in our deepest grief, what we're really doing is celebrating our deepest love.